Now, you have to pay attention that the exam may include extra questions. What does that mean? In the reading or listening section that do not count toward your score. That means sometimes you will have questions that are not going to be counted, are not going to be included in your score. Okay, so why should I have these questions? Yes, ETS, or the organization that actually like has a responsibility for the TOEFL, sometimes we put this to determine something about you. These questions are like maybe required from our administration, specific organization, something like that. Okay, so sometimes compare it. So sometimes you have questions not counted in the school. Yes, that's true. And these are to measure something about your skills and about something. Okay. Second thing. Now, the text itself. Okay. Now, you have to pay attention to something in the text. The text itself is related to typing. It's not writing. It's not paper based. The paper based that you have to choose by your writing and you have to highlight something. But this test is the internet based. Internet based means you need to learn how to type. Typing is very important at this time. Okay, because like nowadays everyone chat with each other. Okay, now everyone chat with like all the people they chat with each other. All the people use the internet. All the people use the keyboard. That's what we want you to use in the future. That's like typing. No. Now, pay attention. Before entering that test, you need to make sure that you understand all the things about the test. What do I mean by all the things about the test? All the things about the test you need to read about, like the timing for each question. How long should I spend in each question? Do I have to read the whole reading or just skim it or something like that? So all of these are going to be given to you as instructions in the beginning. And we will give you some instructions here and we will actually try to practice some tasks with you here. So this is the idea. So pay attention. You need to do your homework. What's doing my homework is to ask about everything, to know everything about the TOEFL, to know all the instructions, to know all the timings, to know everything about it. Okay? Now, why should I know the instructions? Now, the instructions themselves, they indicate how many passages, shows you how many passages are you going to have. Now, if it was like 30 something, think about it, three passages. If it was going to be more than this, so it's related to how many passages do you have. So it will tell you, and you will be having like a clock in front of you that shows you how long remains for the exam. Okay? Pay attention, be relaxed, don't panic. So lots of people when they start like going through that, they panic and they think a lot. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Okay, is it going to be difficult? Is it going to be hard? Is it going to be whatever? Okay, should I actually skip that question? Shouldn't I skip that question? What's the score? What's whatever? Why? Why to panic? Don't panic. As long as you're ready, don't panic. Okay, that means like be relaxed, sleep well. All of these, we talk about these steps again. Be relaxed, sleep well. Be like a go to help your life. Be relaxed. Okay, that's the test. To score for that test, you need to pay attention to the physics. That's what I mean by paying attention to the and for example, we talk about concepts. Concepts related to reading, concepts related to listening, and so on. Pay attention to them. These are very important. Okay? So that's the first. Okay. Let's go for that section. Now, But the second note here, okay, now your official record includes performance feedback that is a reflection of your performance level and description of current task. Now, when you do the task, you will find that they will measure your performance. Your score will be included in that performance. Okay. Now, normally they do that. Normally they give you like the measure of performance and to do it well. Okay. Okay. Now, some people ask me before, am I going to pass or fail in the test? There is no passing, failing. Uh-huh. How? Yes, it's not about passing or failing. It's about the score. Meaning, but you need to get the score that the organization or the school is asking for. So you need to get that score. So the idea here is to score in the TOEFL the score I want, not to pass, not to fail or whatever. This is not a passing. This is not a test of passing or not. Okay. So each agency needs a specific score, needs a specific kind of score they need you to do. That's like in the beginning, like we have like some of the examples for the section. You said each section 30, 30, 30, 30. Okay. Now some organizations they ask for score to each section. For example, 27 in reading, 24 in writing, 23 in speaking, 25 listening. Okay. So these organizations, they ask for each one. Some organizations, they ask for the whole score. I want 94. I want 90. I want 89. I want 74. Depends on your organization, but it's not a matter of passing or failing. Also, as we said, now, so can we take the exam once in a 12-day period? We can take the exam, we take it once in a 12-day period. And the exam expires after 2 years. Very nice. After 2 years, the exam expires. Let's go next. Talk about structure of the test. Now, what do I mean by structure? Structure, what's inside the test? Okay? It's what is inside the test. First, TOEFL IBT listening section. It's from 60 to 90 minutes. We agree that this section is from 60 to 90 minutes. You will listen to 4 to 6 lectures. Sometimes we put not smiley faces, but some characters do smile without like, sorry, small technical problem. Anyway, so again, so it's saying the first section we're talking about in the structure of the test here is the listening section. The listening section of the test is from 60 to 90 minutes. Now, in this section, okay, we have from 4 to 6 lectures. 4 to 6 lectures. One of them, like, is the professor is trying to explain something. We give you some questions, okay, and one of them is like 2 classmates are trying to discuss something, and also one of them also will be like like students discussing something with the professor. Now, let's pay attention to this. Now, so in here, in this section, now each one will last from 3 to 5 minutes long with 6 questions. Okay, so each one will have 6 questions at least. Okay. The third thing, okay, you will have like from 2 to 3 conversations. From 2 to 3 conversations. Now, the conversation between two people, like 3 minutes long or 5 questions each. Okay. Now, sometimes you will have more than one accent in the thing. Like, for example, you might have British accent, you might have like American accent, whatever. Okay. All the scoring for the listening part is 30 points. Okay? 30 points out of the whole thing. Okay. Now, so again, we said from 60 to 90 minutes, 4 to 6 lectures. Each one will last from 3 to 5 minutes with 6 questions and 2 to 3 conversations, each one 3 minutes long with 5 questions. Okay. Now, so you listen to those lectures. Those lectures are from professors. You listen to them 5 minutes, and you answer 6 questions according to what he said. Now, pay attention. The questions are not just like for, some questions you find, why are they that easy? No, pay attention. That in these questions, he's relying on my understanding. Okay? So that's first part of is that. Next. Now, let's talk about some skills in the listening. Okay? Now, what are we going to say? In the skills for listening question, as we said, I will rely on understanding. We have basic comprehension and pragmatic understanding. Meaning, some questions are going to be based on the comprehension or understanding from the listener. And some questions will rely on the logic. Explain. Like, for example, let's give that example. Now, the professor said that, okay? Today we're going to give this lecture before you go for your next summer vacation, okay? So this lecture is before the exam within 1 week, and this lecture is going to talk about insects. Technically, we're talking about one of the most important insects in our life, which is the bee. The honeybees gives us something nice, something useful for us, which is the honey, okay? So, if I ask you this question about this lecture, when is this lecture? Yes, before the summer vacation and before the exam. That's basic comprehension. Now, pragmatic. Now, what means pragmatic? Pragmatic, that means logic. Let's say it like this, okay? I will talk about the life of the lion. The lion always eats meat, okay? But some lions doesn't, okay? So, what will you ever say? The lion eats meat, just meat? The lion just eats plant? But you understood that here, like some animals, they like to eat vegetables and fruits and others. Okay? Now, so before continuing this section, we will take a small break for the prayer, then we come. Yeah. Now, before the prayer, we're talking about the listening substitute. We said that the listening is like yes, from 4 to 6 lectures per night and 2 to 3 conversations. That's very nice. And for the conversations, we have 5 questions. For the lectures, each lecture we have 6 questions. Now let's talk about soft skills. Now, the listening is not just to measure like your comprehension to the main idea. No, that's one of them. So basic comprehension is, do you comprehend the main idea or not? Do you understand what he's talking about? Understand the main idea of the topic? Okay, that's the basic comprehension. Basic thing. Now, the second thing is the pragmatic understanding. Now, are you able to recognize what the speaker wants to say? Like, for example, okay, if he said, or he stopped, or he paused, he got something. Now, do you understand what does that mean? Okay, if he said something the wrong way, then he actually corrected again. So, do you understand what does that mean? That's the question. So this is the pragmatic, like the pragmatic understanding. So you need to like use the logic. What does he or she say? Okay. The next. For the last thing is to collect and combine information that comes to you. Now, what's the meaning of connect and combine information? Now, so for example, to understand your organization, also provide its owner information. Now, understand what he's talking about, and then he can tie two pieces of information together and make like a whole sentence. Now, also to find the relationship between that and that, relationship between presented ideas, compare them together, try to talk about them. Like for example, it said Muhammad is 167 meters. Centimeters, 167 centimeters. Ahmad is 188 centimeters. So, connect the information. Who's taller? Nice, Ahmad is taller. Connect different pieces of information. Connect to flow of something together. Okay? And we'll get to do like that with details in a future talk. Next. Okay. The IBC listening section or measure. What do I mean by this? Now, as we agreed that the listening section measures like your listening skills, how good is your listening skills? That's an important thing. So it measures the ability to understand conversations, understand lectures, and all of these things. Because these are very important. Conversation between two people if we're traveling to work in our organization and something like that. And also lectures if you're traveling to study. Some people, they are traveling to study abroad, like in Germany and like USA and Canada, Australia, and all of these things. So, like as we said, like it's divided into two sections. One of them is conversation, one of them is listening. Sometimes 2 to 3 sections. Okay. Every part is consisting of a long conversation. A long conversation. This conversation is one lecture or one discussion talking about something. Like for example, you keep on listening to something, listening to that conversation. It's talking about something, and yes, very nice. I take notes. I have my notes, my notebook. This notebook, I take notes about the things that he's saying. Why? Because I will use those notes inside the question. I have questions, and I need to use these notes. The conversation normally is from 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. While listening, you have like, for example, for each section, you have 10 minutes. Only for answering questions. 10 minutes to answer questions. Now, these 10 minutes are going like, I'm going to use them in reading notes and answering that part of the question. Okay? In this lecture, in this discussion or whatever. Okay? Now, the academic lectures represent the kind of listening during university class. Now, as I said, that this lecture is going to be from a university lecture, university class. So in that class, they're going to actually somehow talk about something like some of the samples that we have. I'm going to show you samples of this. A lecture is talking about like insects or something like that. So this lecture, okay, so we listen to someone talking about insects and other things. Now, let's play one lecture sample for something like that to get to know what we're going actually to talk about.
Lecture in an anthropology class. The professor is talking about human migration.
Although we don't think of ourselves as migratory in the way we do of other animal species, people have always been on the move. A few 100,000 years ago, humans migrated from the savannas of Africa and spread rapidly into present-day Europe and Asia. This migration coincided with successive cycles of glacial periods known as the Ice Age, and it probably occurred as humans followed the advance and retreat of plants and animals. Humans survived the bitterly cold weather that prevailed in these regions due to their ability to make things, such as shelter and clothing, but more importantly due to their ability to control fire. Later migrations took humans to Japan, on to Indonesia, and finally to Australia. They also migrated across the Bering Land Bridge into North America and spread quickly down to the southern tip of South America. Later movements brought people to the eastern part of the Canadian Arctic and to northern Greenland. Human migration has not just involved taking over unused land. People have also invaded land occupied by other peoples through killing, displacing, or genetically mixing with the land's existing inhabitants. Looking at today's world, it is clear that we continue to do this. To sum up, migration seems to be a fundamental human instinct.
What is the purpose of the talk? How did people survive the Ice Age in Northern Europe and Asia? What does the speaker say about the invasion of occupied land by human groups? What does the speaker say about human migration? The professor briefly explains a series of human migrations. Put the migrations in chronological order.
Okay, so, hello, welcome back. So that was an example for the listening practice that we're going through, and this is what you're going to face in that test. That's an example for like lecture between like that professor and he's talking about this lecture. That professor was talking about criminology and migration. Okay, so that's part of the academic lecture. Now let's go next to something else. Now we said that we have academic lectures and we have conversations occur between professor and a student, student and a student and others. Now let's go through a sample from these things to get to know what are the things that we're going to face in the future. Okay, let's watch this.
Listen to a conversation on campus between two students.
Hi, are you Paula?
Jim?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Glad to meet you.
So, you need some tutoring in English?
Yeah, I'm taking English composition and I'm not doing very well on my essays.
Right. Well, first, let's see if we can figure out a time to meet that we're both free.
Okay.
How about Mondays? Maybe in the morning? I don't have any classes until 11 on Mondays.
That'd work, but I was hoping we could, meet more than once a week.
Oh, well, Tuesdays are out. I've got classes and I work at the library part-time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I could get together on Wednesdays.
In the morning?
Probably 9:30 would be best. That way we'd have an hour to work before I'd have to get ready for my 11 o'clock.
So that would be 2 hours a week then?
I could do that.
Oh, but would that be extra? Would I need to pay you for the extra session?
No, just so you meet me here at the Learning Center and we both sign in, then I'll get paid. Tutoring's free, to you, I mean. The school pays me, but we both have to show up. If you don't show up and sign in for a session, then I don't get paid, so...
Oh, don't worry about that. I really need the help. I won't miss any sessions unless I'm sick or something.
Okay, then. So you want me to help you with your essays?
Right. I could bring you some that have, comments on them. I'm getting C's and...
Well, that's not too bad. Once I see some of your writing, we should be able to pull that up to a B.
You think so?
Sure. But I need to explain something. Some of my students in the past, they expected me to write their essays for them, but that's not what a tutor's supposed to do. My job is to help you be a better writer.
Oh, I understand that. But you'll read my essays, right?
Oh yeah, no problem. We'll read them together, and I'll make suggestions.
Great. I think part of the problem is I just don't understand the teacher's comments. Maybe you could help me figure them out.
Sure. Who's the teacher?
Simpson?
No problem. I've tutored a couple of her students, so I know more or less where she's coming from. Okay then, I guess we'll meet here on Monday?
I'll be here. 9:30, you said.
Just sign in when you get here.
1. What does the woman need? Two. Listen again to part of the conversation and then answer the following question.
Oh, but would that be extra? You know, would I need to pay you for the extra session?
Why does the woman say this?
Oh, but would that be extra?
Three. Why is the man concerned about the woman's attendance? Four. What does the man agree to do? Five. What does the man imply about the woman's teacher?
Okay, and that was an example for the conversation. Very nice. Now we have to pay attention in a conversation. In a conversation, it can be short conversations and can be long conversations. Now, in a short form of a conversation, you will listen to two conversations, two lectures, and two discussions. Okay, that's the short form of a listening. Okay, short form of a listening, I have two. You have 20 minutes to answer all the questions, 10 minutes for each part. Long format of a conversation is, on sorry, of a listening is like this. You listen to 3 conversations, 3 lectures, and 3 discussions. You have 30 minutes to answer all questions, 10 minutes for each part. So think about it like this. Now, in the first one, you have 2 and 20 minutes. So you will listen to maximum like 2-minute conversation, something like that, and 2 minutes lecture and all that. Now the other one, like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but you listen to more of them. Like for example, imagine it like this. Okay, 2 for the conversation, 2 multiplied by 2, so 4 minutes. 2 multiplied by 2 for lectures, so 4 minutes again, 2 again, so technically like 15 minutes listening, then 20 minutes to answer questions. But the other one, like 3, for example, 3 multiplied by 9, so 27 minutes, 30 minutes of listening. That's the difference, okay? And you have like 30 minutes, 10 to each part to answer, okay? So these are different, okay? Long format and short format. According to what? According to the organization and like the place that you take tests with. Are they different? Sometimes they are different. Like some places, their tests are very easy. Some places, their tests are not that easy. So according to the place. Okay. So next, no. Let's take this note. Okay, we said only 2 lectures and 2 discussions and 2 conversations will be graded. Meaning, okay, like you might have like the long format of the thing, but only 2 are going to be graded from each section. 2 lectures, 2 discussions, and 2 conversations. The other one, as we agreed before, like the reading part, we said that they might give you some extra like things to measure some other things, to measure like your ability for listening, your ability in listening, your ability in lots of things. Okay, so you must try your best in all of that. That's an important thing. Now, don't tell me, like, don't say that one of them is not going to be graded, not solve it. No, Try your best in all of them, because as we agreed that all of them are measuring something. Some of them are included in the score, some of them are not included, but they are measuring something related to your skills and listening. Okay? Next. Type of question. Now, the questions, as we said, most of them are multiple choice questions. Multiple choice for math MCQs are like the common thing. Like I gave you a question, some MCQs to choose from them. Okay. One of them, as what like the first video was like about a lecture. So in that first video, you see something important. We watch this video and watch that some of the questions are arranged. Like for example, in this lecture, he talked about something, then another thing, then another thing, then the last thing. So he asked me at the end to arrange it according to the sequence that he talked about. Sequence in the video, the sequence in the lecture itself. So that's important. Important to take notes and to know the sequence for each thing. So the person with a multiple choice questions with 4 questions, 4 answers. Now, how to answer that question, we will discuss it